Thanks, Ronen. Good morning. I fully agree with the title of the panel, Tomorrow's War, no longer science fiction, since what seems like fiction exists here in our reality, and therefore there is something new under the sun. Classic war objectives that until a few decades ago intended to conquer enemies' territories using large and heavy weapons have given up their place status to local and global terror and criminal threats and a desire of unconventional countries to achieve unconventional capabilities. Current and future battlefields therefore generate concurrent opportunities and chances, but on the other hand, new risks. I will focus on the cyber area with which I dealt when I was in uniform, as Ronen had mentioned, and now in the industry, to illustrate through it the new impact in the new battlefield. We'll begin with the opportunity posed by advanced cyber capabilities, which until now seem to belong to science fiction. Let's take an example. The opening event of the Six-Day War, while within less than 3 hours, the Israeli Air Force jets destroyed all the enemy aircraft and actually subjected the outcome of the war, which is considered as the most successful war, Israeli war, from the military perspective. We can presume today that with proper preparation, if we will be again on the eve of war, the cyber weapons will replace aircraft, and with a single key press, all entire enemy aircraft would be disabled without sending even a single aircraft to the mission. And I repeat, without sending even a single aircraft to the mission. All this without preparations that might be exposed prior to large-scale warfare operations and without risk to human life. Yet, with the same degree of damage to the command and control system, to the tank, gun, and vessel formations, which are all computer-dependent. We are living in a world where 500 million cyber attacks occur per second. I repeat slowly. 500 million cyber attacks occur per second. You ask me, how do I know? If the Israeli checksum company, he was my soldier, the COO, assessed a year ago that the attacks identifies only on its systems are about 300 million, we can assume that these are the numbers. However, the highest priority are those defined as strategic by its damage to the IT infrastructure. And my definition to what is strategic in IT infrastructure is defined as vital when its disruption can cause economic and social crisis with political, strategic, and security implications which will undermine state foundations and global stability. Here you can see in this slide part of the most famous attacks. The attack in 2007 against the intelligence community in the USA, and I mean the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, referred to as the Cyber Pearl Harbor. And nothing has changed regarding it in the United States of America. Panetta and Obama all the time saying, we are under constant attack. The Russian cyber attacks, again, Estonia and Georgia, which for the first time, combined between physical attack and virtual attack. I don't know if you know, but during the Gaza operation, 400,000 computers from Africa attacked the Israeli Egov. And of course, the endless attack against utilities infrastructure. But perhaps, as Ronen mentioned previously, the most significant of all was made against the Natanz nuclear reactor in Iran, according to open sources, only open sources, which were confirmed by Iranian admission, an invisible hand.
I will not quote you on that.
Oh, okay. An invisible hand injected Trojan horses of the Stuxnet series into the inner SCADA array in the reactor and disrupted and completely destroyed the centrifuge systems. I would like to say that SCADA, what is according to publish, according to what attacking Iran is the SCADA IT infrastructure. 90% of all the IT infrastructure in the world based upon SCADA, also in the Holy Land. And we based upon protocols from the 70s, it's a weakness point. Of course, the Iranian claims that it is a blue and white operation from Israel. But I agree with Professor Ben Israel, who said in an interview just last week regarding this context, it was not written and signed on the Stuxnet codes that it is Soldier Corporal Shoshana from A200. This is, in short, the opportunity and advantage the cyber world provides to an advanced army. On the other hand, such opportunity is available even in a larger extent for the weaker and inferior in its power, as a group of hackers motivated by a destructive ideology, anonymous, or greed can cause tremendous damage. That's what Obama said and Panetta. Cyber brings the asymmetric dimension in the match between strong and weak into the modern battlefield to its highest peak. Generally speaking, the cyber world currently has weak defensive capabilities with respect to offensive capabilities, and it's a big problem. In the everlasting game between an attacker and defender, between mouse and cat, a huge gap has now been created in favor of the attacker. A good friend of mine, he was the head of the CIA and NSA, and currently he is director of cyber protection company, told me, you know, Yair, we've built our future upon capability that we haven't learned how to protect. And this is the situation currently in the world. What are the challenges? First, the difficulty in unique identification of the attacker. As a rule, even an average hackers, marginal hackers, cyber attack is not easy to be sure that this is not a technical malfunction. Very complicated. Even more so when it comes to professionals, that for their penetration identification, we need special tools and well-skilled personnel. For the first time, cyber allows attacking quality targets without having physically reached them and without having to encounter defensive forces and then be exposed to reactive action. The deterrent element, which entailed a warning sign to terrorists and criminal organizations, and certainly to countries, was eroded and non-existent today when using cyber weapons. The differentiation, it's in Hebrew, the professional term in Hebrew, it's bidul, how you hide your attacking. The differentiation phenomena may also have far-reaching consequences of manipulation, very important, manipulation, in which the attacker will have precise interest to conflict between various organizations and countries via an alleged exposure of the attack sources from another destination. All of us remember what happened with the Saudi attacker, which attacked hundreds of Israeli credit cards. He was not from Saudi Arabia, but it's not prevent from Israeli hackers, pirate Israeli hackers, to attack the stock exchange in Saudi Arabia. But we know that it was not from Saudi Arabia. And what happened if the stock exchange in Saudi Arabia will collapse? What will be with our money? Just example. Hence, such global conflicts may erupt when highly flammable material and much are ignited by an interested party, which benefits from the inter-country conflicts that was generated. Cyber weapons allow to implement with a it's a very important point. Cyber weapons allow to implement with a non-combat agreement offensive operations that so far were performed only in an open declared war, to which a defense or economic impact to the counter side is most harmful without the risk of exposure. So what our great poet Yehuda Amichai said, that the war in the Middle East is all the time, but all the time is in something in another location, We do things that Orwell right, while he said that because war is actually peace and peace is actually war, this is the situation in cyber, so we are facing a very, very challenged world. Thank you.